security, we will discuss majorly three things. So mainly security topics we can cover in three things. One is principal.
Okay.
Second is securable. Third is permission. These are the main things in security topic.
Okay.
If we can cover three topics, 70 to 80% of security topic will be completed. Okay. So we need to know what is principal, what is securable, what is permission.
Okay.
So whoever is doer, we can call them as a principal.
Okay.
What they are doing, I mean, what they are securing. So what they want to try to protect, that is called is securable. Okay. So there are multiple doers. Doers we can call them as users. Okay. Users, to secure securable, they need some permissions.
Right.
So whatever we give control on users, control to users on secure, those is called as permissions.
Okay.
Okay. Principal is mainly so the person who is performing the action, users, logins, etc. Okay. So the object you want to protect is securable. So we want to protect database, tables, instances. So everything, all objects, everything are securable. So from whom you want to protect, those are called as principals also.
Okay.
So who are protecting? What are protected? Principals, securables. So principals here are entities that can request SQL Server resources. So there are multiple resources. Database is also resource, table also resource, procedure also resource, view also resource. Everything we are working on under SQL Server is a resource. So whoever request for resources, those called as principals. What are principals? Login is a principal. User is a principal. A role is a principal. A group is a principal. Okay. So securable means resources to which permissions are granted. So we are granting permissions on databases, tables, and all the other resources. Those are called as permissions. Okay. So permissions wherever we are granting, so that object is called as securable. Database, there are multiple level securables. Database level securables are databases, schemas, tables, views, and server level securables are logins, roles, endpoints. Did you observe one point? Here we are calling login as a securable. But one slide, if you go to one slide back, here we are calling login as a principal. Okay. So login and users are relative principals and securables because see, whenever I am installing one standard users, one super user will be there, right? So whoever installing, that person is called as admin. So for example, I am installing SQL Server. I am admin. So Hari has all powers in that SQL Server. So I am called as sysadmin. Hari is a login. Okay. So next, after installing SQL Server, I recruited Gaurav as a DBA. So for Gaurav, I need to give some permissions, right?
Yes.
To enter into SQL Server. So here, Gaurav is also login. Hari login is creating Gaurav login. Here, principal is Hari. Securable is Gaurav.
Right.
Is it clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay. So next time Gaurav creates login for some other person, for example, XYZ. So
they are Gaurav
XYZ
is
is
principal and
securable and Gaurav is principal.
principal.
So logins are considered as a principals and securables based on the role they are playing. Is it clear?
Clear. This part is clear.
Okay. So now we need to know what is authentication and what is authorization. So authentication, authorization, there are two types of words are there in security topic. Authentication is to prove yourself. Who are you? For
Right.
example, if you are getting any government schemes, or if you want to open a bank account, or you want to, so you are entering into airport, so they definitely ask you for your ID proof. You need to authenticate yourself.
Correct.
Okay, self-authentication is also available through Aadhaar OTP, whatever the government scheme. If you are eligible of any government scheme, so you need to provide your Aadhaar card. So whenever it is authenticated, immediately you will get a message to your mobile, right? Your Aadhaar authentication is successful. Okay, so authentication is you need to prove yourself who you are.
Okay.
So there are two types of authentication in SQL Server. One is Windows authentication. Other one is SQL Server authentication. We cannot call it as SQL Server authentication. It is mixed mode. Windows or SQL Server authentication. This is called as mixed mode.
Okay.
Windows authentication means, for example, let me open users here. So under users list, I am Hari. So Hari login into this computer.
Right.
So if you want to know who has logged into this computer right now, you can type command prompt on command prompt, who am I?
Hi.
So who am I? Who is the user here?
Hari. Yeah.
Hari. So GHK is computer name. Hari is the username.
Right.
Okay. So I already entered into this computer. So now if I want to enter into SQL Server, no need to again provide my username and password. One time is sufficient. Same ID password for Windows and same user ID password for SQL Server. So no need to provide 2 times authentication. That is why this is called as Windows authentication.
Windows.
So I am connecting to SQL Server here. So I am choosing Windows authentication.
Okay.
So under Windows authentication, username password not required because I already entered into this computer. Okay.
Okay.
For example, a person is there. That person is not Windows admin. I mean, Windows is no Windows account for that person. So the person absolutely want to enter into SQL Server without Windows authentication. Okay. So I am choosing SQL Server authentication. In this scenario, we need to provide ID and password. You can connect. You can connect to this account. See. So this is SQL Server authentication. Okay. So how can you differentiate between Windows authentication, SQL authentication? So on a Windows authentication, computer name will come before your username. My computer name is GHK. GHK/Hari is Windows authentication. If you find only username, that is SQL authentication.
Okay.
So where can you see all these users details? In details, you can go to database. Instead of database, go to security. Go to logins. So here you can find all the logins. So this is Windows authenticated login. This is Windows authenticated login. This is Windows authenticated login. But yes, this is SQL login.
Correct.
This is SQL login. This is SQL login. This is SQL login. All these are SQL logins. Okay. So the difference between Windows authentication and SQL authentication is If it is SQL authentication login, you will find only name,
Only the username.
username. If it is Windows authenticated, so
The
you can
username will
see
come along with that
computer name slash
username.
computer name slash username.
Username, yeah.
Okay. So what is authorization? Authorization is I am giving you some power to control SQL Server. So just a minute. I am creating a login. How to create a login? So open instance. This is 34, batch 34. Open this. Go to security. Open logins. Right click on logins. New login. So I am choosing SQL Server authentication here because you are not a user in my computer.
Right.
Okay. So I am creating a login with the name Gaurav.
Okay.
So password is 1234.
I
am giving simple password to remember.
Yeah.
So whenever you choose simple passwords, you need to lift this policy. So uncheck this enforce password policy.
Okay.
This one. So if you enforce password policy 1234 is not accepted. You need to provide some special character, capital letters like that.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So I am unchecking this enforce password policy. I'm clicking on OK. Then Gaurav login is created here. Now, if I give you credentials and if I enable remote desktop connection and some VPN is available from your computer, you can connect to this SQL Server.
Right.
Okay. So from my computer, you want to enter into SQL Server. How can you enter? Simply click on connect.
Connect.
Go to SQL Server authentication. Provide your username and password is 1234. Click on OK. Just a minute. It is not connecting because I need to change authentication type in my properties. This is instance. Go to properties. Whenever I am installing, go to security. I choose Windows authentication mode.
Okay.
Okay. So we need to choose SQL Server
SQL.
and Windows authentication mode. This is mixed mode. Click on OK. So you need to restart, otherwise the settings won't be affected. So I am restarting this instance. Click on right click.
Restart.
Stop and start. Where is restart? Here it is. So if I restart this, you can able to enter into this SQL Server. So whenever a new person join in a company, so after their credentials created in Windows, so immediately to enter into SQL Server, DBA will create SQL login.
Okay.
So I am connecting with Gaurav now. Password is 1234. Click on connect. Again, what is the issue? Okay. Instance name is, we need to choose batch 34.
Okay.
So under 34, you are eligible to enter because you have login. In 33 instance, you don't have login.
Oh, yeah.
So now Gaurav connected. See, how can you see? So on the ending of instance, the username will be shown.
Yeah.
Okay. Now Gaurav entered into this computer. So now Gaurav want to create a database. How to create a database? Create database, database name DB1. Execute this. So we got an error. What is the error?
Create database permission denied. Database
so
master.
you don't have any permission under these instances. So that is called authorization. You need some authorization to do some work in SQL Server.
Yes.
If you don't have any permission, you cannot do anything. You just simply can connect to SQL Server.
Simply we can log in, nothing else we can do.
Nothing else, because you don't have any permission.
Yeah, right.
So open this. See here, authorization means, so what you can do in SQL Server. Process of determining what actions a user, a process, or a device is allowed is called as authorization.
Okay.
So authentication means who can enter into server.
Authorization
Means what they can do.
actions he can do.
So there are multiple authentication modes available. Windows authentication
Mhm.
mode, mixed mode,
Still,
and this is for on-prem SQL servers. For cloud SQL servers, they have introduced another way of entering into SQL server that is called Microsoft Entra MFA, multi-factor authentication. So this is cloud related. On-prem only Windows and SQL authentication. So all these are related to cloud authentications. So in the cloud, if you want to enter into SQL server, your mail is your main ID, username, and you need to provide, no need to provide password also. So you can enter into your email address here, and one password will be delivered to your authenticator. You know, Microsoft Authenticator application.
Yeah, we are using these.
Okay, so the OTP will be delivered to your authentication or your mobile. So you need to enter into that OTP. Otherwise, you need to approve in your authenticator. Then you will be connected to SQL Server. Okay, this is cloud thing. Now for on-prem means local. So in data center, in your company data center, private data center. So Windows authentication and SQL Server authentication, two types of authentication modes available. Okay. So by seeing this diagram, we can say who are principals. Principals are Windows level, Windows logins, SQL Server level, SQL logins, database level, users. Who are users? I'll tell you. So securables, SQL Server also securable because we are trying to protect SQL Server.
Right.
Under SQL Server login also securable because we need to protect login also. Someone can delete login also. So we need to protect this one. And database also securable. Under database table also securable. Schemas are securables. Functions are securables. Secure procedures, everything under database are securables. Okay. So login types. There are multiple login types you can create.
Okay.
So domain logins, Windows logins. Both are almost same. The difference is Windows login is restricted to one computer. So in each and every company, they maintain a domain. You know domains, right? So for example, if you are working in XYZ company, your company domain with your company domain only, you will get email. So Gaurav @xyz.com. XYZ, if XYZ is your company, so this is your domain.
Right.
Okay. So Hari@gmail.com. Gmail is a domain. Mail providers. So your company, with your company name, one domain will be created. So if your company is holding 1,000 computers, for 1,000 computers, one domain control will be there.
Okay.
From that computer, you can control all these 1,000 computers. So if your company provided you one laptop, so they will give you one username with your name. So without your username also, they can enter into your computer because they have admin access. Okay. With their domain control name, from their domain controller, they can enter into your laptop even without your permission.
Correct.
Okay. So that domain controller will be there. So domain level, we can create login that is called as domain login. In your computer, if you create Windows login, that is called as Windows login. Okay. So in your SQL Server, if you create a login, that is called as SQL login.
Okay.
By default, some login created for SQL Server, they are called as built-in admins.
Okay.
So if you have multiple users, for example, in your company, 10 DBS are there. So these 10 DBS, you cannot create individual logins because it is time-taking work. So what you can do is, you can add all these 10 DBA to one group, DBA
Okay.
group. So you
Okay.
can
All the 10
assign,
DBAs can
okay,
log in with this.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So all the 10 DBAs can log in with this group name. This is called
Okay.
as group login.
Okay.
So domain login we will see later because we don't have a domain. So in future we will create a domain and I will show you what is domain login.
Okay.
Now
Okay,
let me
sure.
show you Windows login, SQL login, built-in logins, and group logins.
Mhm.
So this is my computer. I am creating a login in my computer. New username is Gaurav.
Okay.
So password is 1234
Mm-hmm.
1234. I think it won't accept Windows operating system. We need to give complicated password. So I am providing capital admin @ 123 123. Admin @ 123 123. So user cannot change this password. Password never expires.
Okay.
So if you joined in a company first time, so they will click on this option. User must change password at next login. Whenever you log in first time, so it will prompt you for changing your
Yeah.
password.
Correct.
Okay. If you click this option, that will be applicable. I'm not clicking on that. Click on OK here, create this. So now in my computer, my Windows operating system, you are a user. You have a login. So if I log off from this computer, you can enter into with your username, you can enter into this computer. So let's assume you are a DBA in my computer and Chandu also DBA, Ashok also DBA, Hari also DBA, Marsa also DBA, Prasad also DBA, Shiva also DBA. So how to map this Windows login to SQL Server? So we have SQL Server, right? 34 instance. So go to security, go to logins. Gaurav SQL Server login is there, but SQL Server logins are not trustworthy because without any trace, anybody can enter into SQL Server. If you use Windows login, there will be track record. So without Windows login, you cannot enter into this computer, right?
Right.
So whoever enter into this computer, they only can control SQL Server. So Windows logins are safety and secure logins. So right now you don't have Windows login mapped into SQL Server. You have Windows login. You have Windows login here, but I have not mapped you to SQL Server. This is, let me this. So you are not mapped to SQL Server. How to map a login? Just a minute. You are already entered into SQL Server. So I'm disconnecting from here. I'll delete your user login from here. Delete this. Done. Deleted. Not deleting. What is the error? User currently logged.
Okay. User is logged in.
So you
We
are
have logged in with
currently
user
enter login. Yes.
Okay.
So Gaurav 58 session login.
Yeah.
So I need to kill this login. Okay. Let me close this. Now let me check. Still the same problem. So I should kill the session. Otherwise, I cannot delete this line. So sp-who2 is a command. You can check who is working on this computer. So login Gaurav is using 66 session. So I can kill 66 SPID. Execute this. Done.
Done.
So is there any Gaurav logins again? Here
No.
it is. Gaurav. DB. So this is not login. This is not login. This is database. That is fine. So we need to check logins.
Right.
Login 61. Execute this. Done. So logins nothing is there. Now go to here, delete this, it will be deleted. Done. So how to map a Windows login to SQL Server? So go to logins, right click new login. So don't enter anything here. Just click on search.
Okay.
Go to advanced. Go to find now. You can see all Windows logins from here. Go to Gaurav. Click on OK. So GHK/Gaurav. Did you see this? Windows. This is Windows login. Computer name / username. Click on OK. So this is Windows authentication. Click on OK. Now login is created. So how many DBAs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DBAs are there. In some companies, there might be 50 DBAs, 100 DBAs also. So for each person, I cannot create logins like this.
So bulk login will.
Okay. So in this scenario, what I will do, I'll create a group. Go to groups, right click. I already have one group, delete it. So right click, create a new group. Group name is DBA group.
Okay.
Click on create. Group is created. Okay. So open this, add users. So who can I add? Go to find now. All these are users. So
from
Ashok is a user, Chandu is a user, then Gaurav is a user, everyone not required. Manasa is a user, Shiva is a user, Swapna is a user. So Hari is a user. Click on OK. All these persons are my DBS. Click on OK. Click apply. Click OK. So now simply you can map this group account to SQL Server.
Okay.
So go to here, create login, new login, search, locations. Okay, my computer is the location. Object type, groups. See here, other objects built in securables, users. I am clicking on groups. Now go to advanced, go to find now, DBA group, click on OK, click on OK, click on OK. So now group account will be created. No need to create individual Windows accounts. So all the persons inside this DBA group directly can connect to SQL Server.
Okay.
So did you observe this group account login? This icon.
Which one?
The icon for group account is different.
Right.
Okay, individual account is
individual
different.
Right.
So you can find with the group account and individual account by seeing icon.
Also.
So these are automatically comes. These are inbuilt accounts. Okay. So this is Windows authentication. This is group authentication. Okay. Right click new login and create SQL Server authentication. Hurry. Password is 1234. Don't enforce password policy. Click on OK. This is SQL authentication. SQL login. Is it clear?
Yes.
So Windows login, SQL Server login, group login, and built-in administrators. So who are built-in administrators? So you can create built-in administrators also. New login, built-in /administrator. Search this. Search with this word. Check names. Okay, not included any. Maybe some spelling mistake is there. Would be there. Advanced. Fine now. Just a minute. Okay. So to create built-in administrators, maybe there is no Windows window graphical version, so you need to use command. So we can create all these logins through command line also. How to create logins through command line? Simple thing. So if you want to see, right?
Uh,
Yes.
this
Yes, Gaurav.
built-in login, for what purpose we are using it?
So built-in administrators are whenever you are installing operating system. So whoever are admins, all will be admins here also. Let me show you. Actually, as in SQL Server, it is not good practice to create built-in administrators in SQL Server because built-in administrators are Windows admins. So they don't know anything about SQL Server. So if we give full access to them, they can, by mistake, they can do something to SQL Server. Okay. So it is not good option to map built-in administrator to SQL Server. But I am showing you there is a way to add built-in administrators also.
Okay.
I'll tell you how to add this. So any login, right click on this, script login, create new query. This is the query to create a login.
Okay.
So see this create login,
This is
what we
Windows
are
now.
using here. Create login, login name from Windows. This is Windows authenticated login.
Yeah. Right.
So who are the users in my computer? Let me choose one person. For example, Hari is a user, right? So GHK Hari, already that person is there. Chandu, let me choose Chandu. Okay. If I execute this, so we don't have Chandu login here. Command is successfully executed. Refresh this, Chandu login came. This is for Windows authentication. For SQL Server authentication, create login, login name. So for example, XYZ with password is the command. You need to provide password for this. For Windows, you need not to provide password. For SQL, you need to provide password. Password equal to 1234. Let me execute this. Okay, syntax mistake. Maybe profits.
Okay.
Now, see this refresh. Okay, not connect, refresh. So XYZ is also created. For SQL authentication, this is the syntax. Windows authentication, this is the syntax. For built-in administrators, this is the syntax. Let me execute this. Done. Now see this refresh. This is the built-in administrators. Okay. So for group account also, you can create group account also through this one. Let me delete this. Click on OK. So group account also Windows login, right? So GHK DBA group. That's it. Now refresh this. You can create group account also.
But first we have to create a group.
Yeah, first we need to create operating system level, Windows level group account. Then we can map to, we are simply mapping here, mapping group account to SQL Server. Let's assume one of your friend joined in your company. Okay, so your friend name is Raju. So Raju wants to enter into SQL Server. What do? How can you grant him access? So he will send you an email. Let's assume you are a DBA manager. So he send you email. like this. Hi Gaurav. I joined recently, so I want to check SQL Server. Okay, so please create a login for me and let me know. So this is the email you have created. I mean, you received. So now what you will do? What you can do?
We, for Windows login, we have to create it. No?
100% in company environments, we need to create Windows permanent. Permanent. If you want to, if you are a permanent user, 100% you should have Windows login.
Windows login.
Okay. So now what you can do?
Here we can means by using either command or command line or that graphical, we can add in
You
with,
can create.
with that
You can map Windows authentication, Windows login to SQL
create
Server,
login.
but you cannot create Windows. But you cannot create Windows login. That is not your job, right?
Okay, right.
So Windows logins, who will be created?
The
Windows
IT team.
admins will create Windows logins. IT team.
Mm-hmm.
We call them Windows admins. So
Okay.
you can send reply to him like this. Hi Raju. Okay. So I think there is no Windows login
Okay.
for you. I mean, not yet created. Please contact Windows team to get created a login or credentials for you. For you. So soon after you got your credentials, let me know.
Okay.
Then he will contact Windows admin. There one Windows account will be created like this. New user. User is Raju. So password is 1234. Let me create Minadred 123123. Click on OK. So now he has Windows login. Then he will reply to you. Yes, I have my username created with Raju name. Then you can go to SQL Server, logins, right click, new login. Okay, search, advanced, find now. So you can find Raju here. Okay, click on OK. Click on OK. Now you can map, you can map Windows accounts. You cannot create Windows accounts.
Okay. Yes.
So this is the way. So this is about mapping Windows user, single user mapping. You know how to use single user mapping. So Raju is a single user. And group mapping, DBA group, we mapped this. Built-in administrator, we mapped this one also. So different type of icons, single user icon, built-in icon, Windows mapping icon, and group account icon, all this you can find from here. Okay. So just now we discussed, Gaurav is entered, right? Let me enter into Gaurav email. I mean login. So let me create a SQL Server login. Right click new login. SQL authentication. Gaurav. 1234 is the password. 1234 is the password. Don't enforce policy. Click on OK. So Gaurav, let me connect with him. 1234, connect. So the user is connected to instance, but he is not able to do, he cannot do anything in SQL Server. Just a minute. So Gaurav is a dummy user here. He can just enter into SQL Server. Even he cannot create a database. He cannot create a table. create database. Permission denied. So he must have any permissions to do something in SQL Server.
Okay.
There are single permissions, I mean individual permissions. So if you want, I can grant you only create database permission. You can only create database.
Okay. Okay.
And set of permissions. Group of permissions. This is called as a role. So I have multiple roles under SQL Server. If I assign a role, so whatever permissions the role contains, all you can do.
Okay.
So let me open security topic. Go to server roles. This is role. Logins we see. Server roles, open this. These are roles. Let me open DB creator. So if I assign you DB creator, then you can create a DB database. Let me assign you. So go to logins, double click on here. So by yourself, you cannot assign any permission. So your superior admin, whoever is super admin, they can only assign you permissions. So right now I am sysadmin. Open this. Security, go to Gaurav. Where is it? Here it is, not here. Here it is. So now go to server roles. I am assigning you one role here, that is DB creator. Click on OK. Now go and create a database. So right now, who is connected in this session? For which database he has connected?
Master, we have connected.
Master is the database. Who is the user?
Gaurav.
So you can find that information from here. This is the instance name. This is the username. This is the database name. So if you go to here, so here who is the user?
Here, Hari, you yourself. No?
Hari is the user. In under this session, Gaurav is the user.
Gaurav.
Now let me create a database. Let me check whether I can create database or not. Database DB1, execute this. DB1 already exists. Okay, DB500, execute this. Yes, I can create database. Because you have permissions now. You are a DB creator. So if any login, if any user want to do something, they should have some set of permissions. Otherwise, they cannot do anything. That set of permission, we call them as a server roles. Okay, how many server roles are there? So by default, these are the server roles. Fixed, we call them as a fixed server roles. B square PS4. BD square means B means bulk admin.
Okay.
D means disk admin. Another D is DB creator. P means process admin. 4S, security admin, setup admin, server admin, sysadmin. BD square PS4. This is the terminology to remember server roles. So who can do what? If you want to see, for example, this is the syntax, inbuilt store procedure. Let me open this, execute sp underscore server role permission, DB creator. So as a DB creator, you can create database, you can drop database, you can extend database, you can restore database. Okay, you can alter database. These are your permissions. Okay. Let me go to disk admin. Check what disk admin can do. Execute this. So as a disk admin, you can add a disk. So very few permissions you have. You can drop a disk. So as a security admin, let me check. So there are so many permissions for security admin. So you can create a login, you can drop a login. So see, for example, I enter into which account? Here it is Gaurav. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me create a login. I'm creating a login XYZ, otherwise ABC.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm SQL login. Can I create login with your name? Gaurav
Mm-hmm.
login can create logins? No.
No.
What is the error? User
Use
does not have
permission,
permission.
because only database creation
Okay.
has been given.
Yes. So if Gaurav wants to create logins also, he needs special permission.
Permission.
So I can grant you only create login permission, or I can
Mm-hmm.
grant you set of permissions. Set of permissions is called as a role. So go to Gaurav login.
Mm-hmm.
I can assign a role that is security admin. Click on OK. Now Gaurav can create login also.
Mm-hmm.
Create login. Login name is ABC. Sorry, this is password, right? ABC. Password is 1234. 1234. Click on OK. Now Gaurav can create logins.
Mm-hmm.
Did you observe something? Here, go to logins. Here, there are multiple logins, right? Same instance, 34. Same instance. Here, you can see only 3 logins.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Why? What is the difference between here and there? Because
Okay.
Gaurav login has limited permissions. He
Okay.
can see whatever permissions he has. He can create logins.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever login he created by Gaurav, he can
Only he
see
can see.
only that logins only.
Right. Right.
Harry is a sysadmin. That is
Mm-hmm.
why he can see everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So we assign permissions and server role to users so that
Mm-hmm.
there should be a controlled environment.
Mm-hmm.
So if I give all permissions to all persons, anybody can delete anything.
Correct.
So I should have some control over, as a DBA, as a database admin, I should have some control over SQL Server. For that purpose, so for managers, we give only permissions. They want to read only SQL Server. So they don't want to do any changes. For developers, we will give read and write permissions. So we don't grant any delete permission. Like that, we will give set of permissions to them.
Okay.
Okay. So this is about server roles. So command wise also we can add this. This is the command alter server role server name, add member, login name. So for Gaurav, for example, I want to add a role. So go to logins. What is the login role? So I want to grant him sysadmin. So graphically, I can give like this. Other logins. There is another method. So I can grant him permission like this. Alter server role. If you want to remember, you can remember. Otherwise, leave it. So what is server role? Sysadmin. Whom you want to add? Add member. Who is the member? Gaurav.
Got it.
This is it. Execute this. Command executed successfully. Now go here and check your server role. So you have sysadmin. So this is the command to assign you to specific role, to assign logins to specific role.
Okay.
Now let's come to database users. So in the same way, however we are creating logins, database also has some users. So now Gaurav has created one login, ABC. Let me connect with ABC.
Okay.
ABC 1234. Click on connect. Okay, ABC connected now. Open databases. So open any database.
No.
What is the error?
Not accessible.
Simply having login, that doesn't mean you can enter into database.
Yeah.
So if you have login, you can enter into
Mhm.
SQL Server. You cannot enter into database.
Database.
If you want to enter into database,
Mhm.
you should have your login in the database. Just assume like this. So
Mhm.
India level, who has more control? Who is the utmost powerful person in India?
Prime Minister, President,
Prime
those
Minister.
persons.
Okay.
President.
So for example, if the Prime Minister wants to visit Karnataka,
Mhm.
he cannot directly come. Of course, he
Right.
can come, he has power, but he
Mhm.
cannot do anything in
Mhm.
state. If he
Correct.
want to
Correct.
do anything in the state, he needs CM
CM.
assistance. Without
Right.
CM signature, he cannot do anything in the
Mhm.
state.
Mhm.
So state level, utmost priority will be given to CM. Country
Mhm.
level, utmost priority we can give to PM.
PM.
So PM here, we can consider it as a login,
Mhm.
and CM here, we can consider as a user.
Uh-huh.
User is database level,
Uh-huh.
PM is country level. That means system instance level.
Mhm.
Okay. So ABC wants to enter into Gaurav. ABC
Mhm.
needs a user in Gaurav database. How to create an user? So go to Gaurav database.
Mhm.
So under database, I am not going to security. So
Mhm.
this is instance level security. So I am going to
Mhm.
database. I am enter into database. Under
Mhm.
database also, we can see one security tab. This is secure database level security.
Okay.
This is server level security.
Mhm.
This is server level security.
Mhm.
This is database level security. Is it clear to you? So
Uh,
open security, you can see users. Right click on user, create a new user. Username is ABC. Same name, I am
mhm.
maintaining same name. Login
Mhm.
name ABC. Schema,
Mhm.
leave it. Click on OK. Now user
Mhm.
is here in GauravDB. Go
Uh-huh.
to ABC user, open GauravDB. You can enter
Mhm.
into database now. See, now he opened database.
Mhm. Mhm.
Is it clear?
Yes, yes.
To enter into database for login, user assistance required. Without user, login cannot enter into database.
Correct. Yes, yes, correct.
Is it
Okay.
clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So in the same way, we have server roles. Under
Mhm.
database level also, we have database roles.
Okay.
So data under database role, if you want to remember all the roles, this is the keyword
Mhm.
D for
Mhm.
as DBO.
Okay.
So there are multiple roles, but all are very easy to remember. This is not like server roles. So DB data writer, data reader,
Mhm.
data writer. Reader and writer, two permissions.
Mhm.
Deny reader, deny writer, two permissions. What
Delay.
are deny? I will discuss later. So
Mhm.
reader, writer, reader, deny writer.
Mhm.
So under server level, sysadmin
Okay.
is the utmost important person. Sysadmin is the powerful
Mhm.
login. So
Mhm.
let me open security, server roles. Sysadmin has utmost priority, powerful. So it has each and every permission in SQL Server.
Okay.
In the same way,
Mhm.
in a database, go to roles,
Okay.
database roles. Owner is utmost prior permission. Owner is
Mm.
powerful in database level.
Right.
So if you have database owner, database role, you can do anything under that database.
Correct.
So what reader can do? Let me show you what reader can do.
Mm.
So if you want to know, role means what? Role is a set of permissions. That's it.
Uh-huh.
So I have this role, database role. So let me check what I can do. So DB data reader. Execute this. What permission I have?
Select permission on any of
Select permissions. That means you can read, if you want to read a table, you need to execute which statement? Select star from right.
Mhm.
So this permission will be given to you if you have reader permission.
Okay.
So for example, you have ABC login, right?
Mhm.
So with ABC login, now you have user also, you entered into SQL Server, you entered into
Okay.
database, but you cannot see any tables. There are multiple tables. Go to Gaurav, go to databases, go to Gaurav DB, tables. See, there are multiple tables, right, under database,
Yes, yes.
but ABC cannot see log tables list because it doesn't have any permission.
Mhm.
So for example, let me go to ABC, who, Hari. Hari is sysadmin. You want to
Right.
see my login uh, permissions? Let me show you what I'll show you what is my permission, my level. So server role I have is sysadmin.
Mhm.
Public means anybody just can connect to SQL Server. That's it. Public means connect. Sysadmin is at most. So I am
Mhm.
sysadmin. I am opening ABC account. So I
Okay.
am granting him database level.
Mhm.
So let me grant him database level. I'll go to database.
Mhm.
Which database? CoroDB, users, ABC. Open
Mhm.
this. So go to owned schema. Membership. I am assigning him a data reader.
Okay.
How to assign? Go to specific database. Open
Mhm.
security. Go to users. Which
Okay.
user you want to assign a permission? Open that user. Go to
Mhm.
membership. Assign a role. Click on OK. Now ABC can see the list of tables because he has select permission. He can read tables.
Mhm. Mhm.
So this is the ABC, right? Gaurav DB tables. Refresh this. Now he can see the list of the tables.
Now it is okay. Okay.
Why? Why? Because he has select permission.
Permission.
He is data reader.
Mhm.
So now he can check any table. Customer. Let me check it. A spelling mistake. Customers.
Mhm. No,
If he
it's
want
coming.
to read any table, he need data reader permission.
Data reader. Correct.
Okay. So let me edit this information.
Mhm.
Go to orders. Okay. Customers right click edit top 200 rows.
Mhm.
So I want to enter 51 customer details. That
Mhm.
is Gaurav.
Mhm.
Okay. Gaurav@gmail.com.
Mhm.
Something. Let me close this.
Mhm.
No row was updated. Click on
Oh.
OK.
Mhm.
So you cannot see this error message. The insert permission was denied on the object customers database Gaurav DB schema DBO.
Mhm.
So ABC has read permission and
Not right.
ABC doesn't have write permission.
Right.
That is why you are not able to enter any
Mhm.
data here.
Uh-huh.
Just a minute. Even I am not able to close this session also because Gaurav doesn't have any write permission.
Right.
So
Uh-huh.
to get write permission, so what writer can do? Let me check it. What writer can do?
He can update, that means insert
He
any
can
data into that.
insert, update, delete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if you are assigning a role, database role of writer, that
Mm-hmm.
means that person contains insert permission. He can insert data. He can update
He
existing
can
data. He can delete.
modify any table
He
or
can
object.
delete. Yes, yes, yes. This is called as DML language, data
Mm-hmm.
manipulation language. So under
Okay.
DML, we use insert, update, delete commands.
Mm-hmm.
So not only SQL, any language contains some structures. DDL
Uh-huh.
means data definition language. Under
Mm-hmm.
data definition, we create any tables, we create any database, we delete any
Mm-hmm.
database, we delete any database. So creating, deleting comes under DDL, data definition. DML means select, insert, update, delete, all these things. Under
Mm-hmm.
table level, if you want to manipulate any data, data manipulation language. DCL means control language. TCL means transaction control language.
Mm-hmm.
So no need to remember this, just for the idea I am telling you.
Okay.
So insert, update, delete comes under DML
Right.
language. So those
Uh,
permissions will be granted to you.
mm-hmm.
So writer means what?
He can modify any object or table,
He can
insert,
modify
delete.
any table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here, if any, you are not sure how many members has reader permission, how many members has writer permission.
Uh-huh.
Okay. If you are not sure about that thing, you can simply update deny data reader.
Mm-hmm.
So if you update this permission, this
Mm-hmm.
role, what happens? Whoever has writer permission, so that will be cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
No delete, no insert, no update.
Okay.
Even though he has permission, we update deny data writer, then
Mm-hmm.
they cannot work with that permission roles. So this is data, deny data writer,
Mm-hmm.
deny data reader also.
Uh-huh.
No select.
Mm-hmm.
So let me show you what owner can do.
Mm-hmm.
DB owner. I think this is not correct name. DB owner. Spelling mistake. Case sensitive. DB owner. Okay.
Okay.
He can do anything in the database. He has
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
multiple level of permissions.
Right.
This is about owner. So
Mm-hmm.
homework for you is explore all these roles. So
Okay.
each role, what they can do. How can you find roles? So you can go to database level,
Mm-hmm.
security, roles. So explore all these roles, what they can do.
Okay.
Under security also, instance level security, go to instance level security,
Mm-hmm.
go to server roles and check what these roles can do. These are cloud level roles. Forget
Okay.
about these roles because these are Azure related.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, double hash, remove double hash, whatever roles you have, all these
Okay.
roles, what they can do, explore these
Mm-hmm.
things.
Okay.
Okay, so database level, these are the roles about, and how to create users, you know it.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you create a user?
We have to go to the database.
Go to the database, go
Right.
to the
Right.
users, open this, right click
Right.
users,
New.
add a new
Mm-hmm.
user. So username, to create user, you
Mm-hmm.
should have login. So to create user, for example, I want to create a user. So first
Mm-hmm.
thing I need to do is I need to create a login. Create login.
Right.
Login name is Hari123 with password. With password means what? SQL
But
login.
mm-hmm.
Then next thing, create login. Sorry, user Hari123 for login Hari123.
Mm-hmm.
So this is login creation.
Uh-huh.
This is user creation. So whenever you are creating a login, you should be in master database. Use master means you will enter into master database.
Master
Whenever
database.
you are creating user, you should be in specific
Dat-
database. In which
database.
database you want to create this user.
User.
Okay. So commands are very easy if you remember. Instead of graphical, commands is very handy. You can easily you can create something. Okay. So let me create user. Hari123 is the user. Created. Sorry, login created. Now user created. So execute this. This is ABC. ABC can't see this. Now go to Hari. Gaurav, refresh. Now go to security users. You have Hari123. To assign a role, database role, simple alter role. Role is DB owner. Add member. Member is Hari123. That's it. So graphically, how can you assign? Open that user. Go to membership. Click whatever the role you want. Click on OK. So I am not clicking graphically. I am executing command line wise. Let me execute this. It is applied. Open this. Check it. Go to membership. See, DB owner is assigned. So this is the command for what? Assigning. Actually, we are not assigning any role. Role are bigger than user. So we are adding user to a role. Role is bigger than user. So we can add users to role. We cannot assign roles to users. So this is about users and logs. So up to this is sufficient. Let me stop my recording.
I think it is sufficient to practice.